Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen and Karen's Library, which again contains a trigger warning because it's abortion research to go in my abortion research playlist.
I march for my four siblings because there is no grave. There's nowhere to lay flowers. They have no names, there are no birth dates, and there are no death dates. So they didn't have a voice. When I was in my early 20s, my dad, he'd revealed that he'd had two girlfriends who'd had abortions before he met my mom. We'd had this conversation around pro-life and like abortion and all these things. He told me that my mother had aborted the baby that came before me. She wasn't ready. And then I think about 3 to 6 months after I'd been born, she got pregnant again, and she didn't want to go through pregnancy a second time. She just didn't care for it. It really changed my perspective because I was raised pro-choice, pro-abortion, and I thought about the arguments. I was like, I don't think I can stand for this anymore. I can't do this because the more I thought about the reasons that they gave, it's your mother's choice and I didn't want to go through this and I didn't feel like this, the more I thought, well, the reason why I was had is more that I was the more conveniently timed one. Over time, I became very pro-life, but I marched for my four siblings.
Let's bring in Live Action founder and president, Lila Rose. Lila, great to have you on the show. I mean, you look at some of the images, and it seems to me like you have Planned Parenthood now is no longer just, staying out of it, no politics, providing a service. They are promoting, they are advocating abortion, they are celebrating abortion.
Trace, I think it's so just tragic. The abortion industry is on full display here at the DNC, trying to persuade people that pregnancy is a disease, that motherhood is a curse. These are total lies. Motherhood and family are some of the most meaningful and beautiful things that anybody can do with their life, and they bring the most joy. But of course, that's the opposite message that's being sent by these antics outside the DNC. And listen, you mentioned earlier 10 children scheduled to be killed at the DNC as part of Planned Parenthood's giveaway free abortions antic. What about their lives? Those 10 children deserve to be mourned, and they deserve to live. And those are the people that we should be thinking about at this really brutal display that's going on right now at the DNC.
And I want to put this is the New York Post. They write the following: outside the van was a taco truck, as well as a stand run by the Chicago Abortion Fund where patients could pick up goodie bags filled with face masks, candy, painkillers, and cards of affirmation. I mean, it's a carnival atmosphere, Lila. And you look at this and you're like,
it's
listen,
unreal.
I don't get it. You're dressed up as birth control pills or, mifepristone, your abortion pills, and the 20-foot IUD, and on it goes.
I hate to say it, but the Democratic National Convention has become a death cult. It's like a religious practice that they're doing right now, mocking motherhood, mocking parenthood, literally killing children, parading this full-on show for the abortion industry. It's very clear what their agenda is. It's bald. It's in front of the entire American public that this is who they are. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And this is not what most Americans want, not anything close to it. Most Americans want to have good families, live good lives, have good jobs, have a strong economy, and here they are celebrating the killing, the murder of innocent human beings as some sort of ritual at their own convention. It's absolutely horrific.
Yeah, here are some of the protesters I was talking about, dressed up as the abortion pills and then chanting at the rally. Let's listen for just a few seconds of this. I mean, what happens, Lila, is it just kind of comes across as mocking, right? I mean, it comes across as no longer are we talking about this serious subject. No longer, all of a sudden, it becomes this, oh, well, even pro-choice people are offended by this. I mean, you read some of the social media stuff, and there's a lot of pro-choice people like, this is offensive. This is not what we intended.
I mean, they're saying my body, my choice. What about, yes, as a woman, it's our body, but when we're pregnant, there's another body, right? There's two bodies and another body that deserves a shot at life. And they talk about freedom and women's empowerment. There's no freedom in killing your child. That's slavery to an anti-life ideology that tells you that motherhood is a curse. That's a slavery. That's an oppression of women as it is also an oppression of a child. So there's lies that are just covering all of this violence and all of these antics.
Was it like this, Lila? I mean, you've been at this for a while. Was it like this 6, 8 years ago, or are we moving in a different direction?
Well, I remember the days of safe, legal, and rare. Even, Hillary Clinton, safe, legal, and rare. Abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. This is no longer the DNC or the Democratic Party. Now it is, let's dress up as abortion pills and give out free abortions at our own convention and celebrate it as a death cult. So this is dramatically different than even just the last decade. And you know what? I think it's the extreme is going to expose them. I mean, people, like you said, they're waking up that this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And I don't think it's going to help them win this election. Far from it.
It's unsettling. It is. Lila Rose, great to see you as always. Thank you.
Senator Kennedy, then Senator Stabenow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Professor Myers, you are here at the invitation of my Democratic colleagues, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. In his opening statement, my good friend Senator Whitehouse said, I want to quote, reproductive justice is economic justice, close quote. Do you agree with that?
I might, as an economist, use the word rights, but yeah, I do agree with that.
Okay. That's not true for the baby, is
it? Well, first of all, I would refer to a fetus, not
yeah,
a baby.
but a fetus. I refer to it as a baby. That's not true for the baby, is it?
The evidence that I presented to you, Senator Kennedy, was evidence about measurable effects on the lives of women, families.
Right, I got that part, but that's not true for the baby, is it?
I'm sorry, I don't really understand.
Well, it's not true. Let me be clear.
Let me back up. As an economist, I measure effects using data. I'm not here to talk about ethics, assignment of personhood. That's not my
Well, but you
role.
said you agreed with the chairman's statement that reproductive justice is economic justice. There is no economic justice for the baby because the baby's dead, right?
I wouldn't refer. I don't really know how to answer your question. I would refer to
was
a
the baby
fetus.
dead or alive?
We're referring to a fetus.
Okay, is the fetus dead or alive after an abortion?
The fetus would be dead after an abortion.
All right. If the mother is healthy and the baby is healthy, do you support abortion up to the moment of birth?
So I think that's a really hard question to answer because that just doesn't happen. You're asking me about something that simply doesn't happen.
Well, it's legal.
I will tell you
it's legal in Vermont, New Jersey, Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska, and the District of Columbia. And the Loon wing of the Democratic Party supports abortion up to the moment of birth. So do you support that or oppose it?
I don't think, let me say, I'm here to talk about the economics of abortion.
No, you're here as an expert.
And I think you're asking me a
believe.
question as a person, which I'll answer as a person.
Okay, tell me as a person.
I will tell you as a person that I have ambivalence about abortion. I will tell you as a person, I haven't personally had an abortion. And I will also tell you as a person looking at the evidence around me and understanding how complex the decisions are that people face.
Okay.
I'm just simply uncomfortable
I got to move on,
thinking that there's a
Professor, 'cause
simple
I don't think
answer
you're
that
going to
applies
answer
to
my
everyone.
question.
I trust women and their healthcare providers.
It's real simple. You either support abortion for a healthy mother and baby up to the moment of birth or you don't. And I don't think it's a difficult question. How about you, doctor? Do you support, if the mother is healthy and the baby's healthy, do you support abortion up to the moment of birth?
So, Senator, you're using really inflammatory language to talk about a medical procedure, and it's not a simple yes or no. Not to mention, when you make statements like that, you're erasing the grief and the trauma that my patients
You're not
are
going to answer my
through.
question either, are you?
It's not a question that can be answered
I think I
in
know
an
your
appropriate
answer.
way.
I think I know your answer. Mrs. Ford, okay? Let's take a baby at 21 weeks. Hold up, Mike. This is a baby at 21 weeks, okay? The baby can feel pain, right?
Yes.
And the baby's pretty developed, right?
Yes.
And do you know the name of the procedure that the doctor would use to abort that baby at 21 weeks?
I'm not a doctor, but I believe it's a DNR.
It's called dilation and evacuation. And then the doctor would take what's called the doctor would call it a Sofer clamp. It's really a pair of pliers with sharp teeth on the end. And without giving the baby any pain medication, and start tearing the baby apart. Is that right?
As far as I understand the procedure.
Yeah, and she might start with the legs and pull them out, and the arms and pull them out, right? And then she might go for the heart or the spine and just pull the baby out piece by piece. Is that right? Without giving the baby pain medication.
That's what I understand the procedure to be.
Okay, so then the doctor would go in and use those pliers to crush the baby's head. Is that right?
As far as I understand.
And then she'd pull the head out, the crushed skull out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Senator Kennedy, your time has expired here.
Well, you
and
gave
Senator
the
Stabenow is
others
waiting.
plenty of time, Mr. Chairman.
Just letting you know, your time's expired. You have
Okay.
other senators waiting.
Well, I was waiting when you were letting others. I'm sorry you don't want to hear about what happens
No, I don't think anybody
in
else
an
is
actual
going to- I don't think
abortion, but
anybody else
I
is going
thought that
over.
was what we were here to talk about.
So, lived experience. Once upon a time, when I was a university student and in an operating theatre, I was witness to what they discussed in this video. I don't need to be a religious person to know that that's wrong, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Anyway, that'll do. See you later. Bye.